Alright, listen, I'm seeing a lot of people ranting and raving about the United Kingdom sending £2.5 million worth of aid out to Jamaica in a time of need. We've all seen it out there. There's a hurricane, and I want to send my thoughts and prayers to everyone suffering out there. You know, I wish you all the best. It's a horrible, horrible time. But I'm seeing people in the comments with mixed opinions. Why are we sending aid out to these countries when we can't even look after our own people? And you are right to a degree. Yeah, the government should be looking after their own people. But I will say, guys, that Jamaica is a country that's part of the Commonwealth. Yeah, King Charles is the head of state. Yeah, they are entitled to our support, and we should be supporting these countries in times of need. You know, we are sending millions and millions, tens of millions of pounds out to countries that do not give a fuck about us, do not benefit us in aid every year. But people have a problem with us sending a country that's part of the Commonwealth £2.5 million in a disaster like that. That's not even going to touch the sides. That's not even going to put in a dent in the help that they need. You know what I mean? So we should be supporting Jamaica and other countries that are in the Commonwealth. They are our brothers and sisters, and, you know, we should be all supporting each other. So that's my opinion on it. They are entitled to our help. And, you know, like I said, 2.5 million, to me and you, it's a lot of money. But in the grand scheme of things, when something like that's going on, that's not a lot at all, you know what I mean? But we're sending tens of million pounds elsewhere every year. You know what I mean? That's the issue. But yeah, God bless Jamaica. And I hope you all get through this horrific time.
This represents the check that UK has given to us in Jamaica. At first, they only gave us 2 million. Now they're giving us an additional 5.5 million. It's not enough money. If you enslaved Jamaicans for hundreds of years, and that's all you have to give, we never got any reparations from you. You colonize us, you take our resources. This is why we speak English. This is exactly why Jamaicans speak English, because of Britain. The 7.5 million is not enough. Come back again. I need y'all to be donating 200 million, 300 million, even more, because from what y'all took from us. Because at first they only wanted to donate 2.5, and they came back again, and now they had to donate an additional 5.5 million, right? And also they're working with the Red Cross. Historically, we don't mess with the Red Cross. I'm just annoyed about that. But yeah, it's not enough aid. It's not enough. Come back again. Wheel it again.
The UK just sent Jamaica £2.5 million after Hurricane Melissa destroyed the island. Ukraine got £21 billion. Let me be clear, I'm not saying Ukraine doesn't deserve support, but when the same government that enslaved your ancestors for 400 years, extracted billions in resources, rebuilt their entire post-war economy with your labor, when that government offers you what amounts to loose change after a Category 5 hurricane, we need to talk about what Commonwealth family really means, because right now it sounds like colonial language for will help you when it's convenient. This is not just about disaster relief. This is about whether historical date means anything, or if the word reparations is just something former colonizers say to sound progressive at UN conferences. Stay with me for the next 8 or so minutes, because by the end you'll understand why this 2.5 million pounds is actually a 2.5 million pound insult. I have these clips of Jamaicans and Diaspora talking about this thing. I want you to watch them to the very end, and then I'll be back to discuss everything with you.
Mr. Man on the social media, I say Jamaica must be grateful for the $2.5 million what the UK donate to us. Sir, listen to me now. I do forget about that. I joke think that because Jamaica have done more for the UK over the years than what the UK have done for Jamaica. Only thing the UK have been doing for years to Jamaica is loot Jamaica. So if you never know that, you know that. And furthermore, see, in the World War I and World War II, Hitler mashed up the UK and Jamaica. We send people there, we send laborers there, we send builders there. We send nurses, doctors there to go help build back the UK, so people in the UK can have the UK to call home today. So the UK owe Jamaica more than $2.5 million. A disrespect to the Jamaican people when they give that. See? When we look, and furthermore, Jamaica is a part of the Commonwealth. Jamaica is still ruled by the UK. So it's the UK job to take care of Jamaica. See? When the Jamaican people are in need. So more you get that in your brains, fam. See? First, the UK, Mrs. send millions of dollars into Ukraine. What Ukraine?
How we doing, guys? Myself, Chris Credit OBE, hitting you a quick one. Real talk, true season. I need everybody's support right now. I need everybody to share this. This is what the UK is prepared to give Jamaica, 2.5 million. I think we can go and do a GoFundMe page, and I think we can make more than 2.5 million. How dare you, disgustingly, that you just feel like you're... And the worst thing about it, I don't even want your aid. We don't even want your aid. Like, I'm not even going to complain. Please, guys, don't even complain about the 2.5 million, because we're never going to get reparations. We was never going to get billions and billions, but it's all right for them to give Ukraine 20 billion and 30 billion and 40 billion and Turkey and everybody else. Don't worry, I'll wait. Everybody else like Gaza and Palestine and Israel, yeah, you're getting your aid, But Jamaica now, when you've been rinsing, and King Charles, King Charles, King Charles, oh boy, I know you got cancer and I know you got things going on right now, but brother. So guys, on a serious note, right now, if we can all get behind Jamaica, if you can support them in any way, we've got the Rejuvenate Jamaica Hospital Project, which are doing amazing and fantastic work for the hospitals that are out there. There's going to be kids that need certain sanctuaries, certain toys, certain things. There's going to be mothers that need certain things to get themselves back on their feet. There's going to be certain men out there, if there's any old tools or any old bits that we can help them send over so they can actually start rebuilding and start actually getting their life back, because I know 2.5 million from the government ain't doing nothing. It might not even touch the shores, let alone help the people. And if there's anybody that's able to go and do a GoFundMe page, I think Jamaica, actually the actual website is doing a GoFundMe, so you can go directly to Jamaica's website and actually do a GoFundMe, and look out for any other celebrities and influencers like myself that are posting certain things that you might be able to get behind. Please support. Let's share.
As a Jamaican in the UK has donated 2.5 million to Jamaica to help for aid after Hurricane Melissa. A lot of British people have said, why is the UK helping out Jamaica when the UK itself need help? A lot of uno young and uno head still stuck up in uno asshole, so uno don't even know uno history. Go and sit down with your grandmother and your grandfather or your granduncle or your grandaunt and have a cup of tea and ask them, what do you know about Jamaica and World War II? How many Jamaicans came to help the UK? How did they help the UK? And in what sectors did they help the UK? And when did they stop helping the UK when the UK need them most? In some of the cities that were heavily bombed. What have they done for London? Who did they reach out to when the NHS need help? Who did they reach out to for the factories and all the other sectors? You see, because when you're young, illiterate and ignorant, I will only see as far as your eye can see. But let me say to you guys, just sit down with your grandmother, your grandfather, your grandaunt or your granduncle and take in some vital lesson when it comes on to Jamaica and the United Kingdom. Thank you very much.
So, it's just out. England wants to donate 2.5 million to the hurricane that happened in Jamaica. Now, first things first, it's not possible to put a monetary figure on the amount of money Jamaica made England through slavery. But there's one thing that bothers me. England gave 21 billion in aid to Ukraine with their fight against Russia. And former Prime Minister David Cameron said that he would donate 25 million to build a prison in Jamaica. So hold on, something don't sound right to me. So you will spend 25 million to lock black people up, but only spend 2 million to help black people. What's 2 million gonna do? Fix a bus. Shalom.
Welcome back to the Bantu Merchant, where we unpack the stories the mainstream won't touch with proper context and cultural truth. Today we are going to dissect something that should make every Jamaican, whether you're in Kingston or London, Toronto or New York or anywhere, absolutely furious. The United Kingdom, UK, just pledged £2.5 million in emergency humanitarian aid to help Jamaica recover from Hurricane Melissa. And on the surface, some people might say, well, that's something, right? at least they're helping. That's what people are saying on the surface. But here's my question to you. Is 2.5 million pounds enough when the UK gave Ukraine 21 billion pounds? Is it enough when your grandparents helped rebuild Britain after the Second World War? Is it enough when Jamaica was a literal money printing machine for the British Empire for over 400 years? Because I am about to show you why this generous donation is actually one of the most disrespectful gestures in recent Commonwealth history. Let me give you the facts first, because we always lead with receipts on this channel. I want to give you receipts. Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 storm. We are talking about widespread destructions, homes flattened, infrastructure obliterated, entire communities without electricity, clean water, or communications. The kind of devastation that takes years and billions to recover from properly. The UK's initial response, £2.5 million. They later added another £5 million for the wider Caribbean region, bringing Jamaica's specific allocation to roughly £7.5 million when you break it down proportionally. The government said these funds would go towards shelter kits, solar-powered lights, and matched by public donations through organizations like the Red Cross, right? Now, let us talk about what the UK has given to other nations recently. Ukraine received £21 billion, their conflict with Russia, various aid packages to countries across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, tens of millions annually. And here's the kicker, guys. Former Prime Minister David Cameron once promised 25 million euros to build a prison in Jamaica. Let me repeat that. 25 million pounds to lock up black people, but only 2.5 million pounds to help black people survive a natural disaster. You see what the problem is yet? But this goes so much deeper than just comparing numbers on a spreadsheet. This is about historical responsibility, and this is where the UK's response moves from inadequate to downright insulting. Jamaica was a British colony for over 300 years. During that time, the transatlantic slave trade turned Jamaica into one of the most profitable colonies in human history. The wealth extracted from Jamaican sugar plantations literally built British industrial capitalism. The profits from Jamaican slavery funded British universities, railways, factories, and financial institutions that still exist up to date. When slavery was abolished in 1834, you know who got the reparations? No, the enslaved Africans who built everything. No, the Jamaicans who suffered generational trauma and exploitation. No, the British government compensated the slave owners to the tune of 20 million pounds, equivalent to roughly 17 million pounds in today's money. Jamaica is still waiting for its reparations. Now, fast forward to the 20th century. The First and the Second World War devastated Britain. Cities were bombed to rubble. The economy was in shambles. The population was traumatized. Who helped to rebuild it? Jamaicans, Caribbean people. They sent doctors, builders, factory workers, nurses. The Windrush generation literally reconstructed British society, staffed the NHS, ran the transportation systems, worked in the factories that powered Britain's post-war economic boom. Maybe your grandfather was one of those men, maybe left Jamaica with a promise that he was going to the mother country, that he'd be welcomed and respected, valued. Instead, he faced no blacks, no Irish, no dog signs, right? Worked double shifts for the half pay, sent money back home while living in a single room with 5 other men. And he did it because he believed in that Commonwealth connection. He believed Britain would remember. Britain remembered. All right, they remembered just enough to offer 2.5 million pounds when Jamaica got hit by a hurricane that destroyed communities just like the one your grandfather came from. Now, let's talk about the politics of aid itself, because this is not about the amount, it is about the terms. And here, their politics are at play. When the UK announces 2.5 million pounds in humanitarian aid, they control the narrative. They get to be the benevolent former colonial power, extending a helping hand to their Commonwealth family. They get positive headlines. They get to position themselves as generous and caring. But dig deeper into the details. That money is not going directly to the Jamaican government. It's through multilateral organizations, the Red Cross, international NGOs. Now, these organizations do important work, but here's the question. Who decides what Jamaica needs? Who sets the priorities? Who determines which communities get help first? Because here's what I know about colonial aid structures. They rarely center the actual voices and agency of the people they are supposedly helping. Aid becomes another form of control, another way to maintain that old imperial relationship where Britain decides and Jamaica receives. Meanwhile, Jamaica has a massive, wealthy, globally connected diaspora. Jamaicans in the UK, US, Canada, they're doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, engineers, artists, athletes, they send billions back home in remittances every single year. They don't need Britain to save Jamaica. What they need is for Britain to acknowledge its historical date and provide support that's actually proportionate to that history. This £2.5 million represents something much bigger than disaster relief. It is a statement about how former colonial powers view their responsibilities to the nations they exploited. When Britain gives Ukraine £21 billion, they are making a geopolitical calculation. They are investing in European security, NATO stability, and their international relationships. That's a strategic aid. When Britain gives Jamaica £2.5 million after a devastating hurricane, they are offering a charity that comes without acknowledgement of historical extraction, charity that doesn't mention reparations, charity that positions Jamaica as a passive recipient rather than a nation that built more than Britain. All right, so this is the colonial mindset alive and well in 2025. The same mindset that says we'll honor your culture when it's convenient. During carnival season, when we want jerk chicken and reggae music, but when it comes to actual material support, actual recognition of historical date, actual reparations, suddenly it is complicated. Suddenly it's about moving forward and not dwelling on the past. But the past is the present. It is in every underfunded hospital in Jamaica, every school that lacks basic resources, every infrastructure project that can't get off the ground because Jamaica is still paying off loans that, in many cases, originated from the very systems of exploitation that Britain built. So, guys, as I come to the end of this video, what are we going to do with this information? Number one, we need to reframe the conversation. I'm not talking about whether the UK is being generous enough. It is about whether Britain will eventually truly reckon with its colonial past in material terms. Words are cheap. Apologies are performative. £2.5 million in the context of a £21 billion commitment to Ukraine is insulting. Number two, we need to demand transparency. If aid is coming, Jamaicans need to control how it is used. The government needs to be accountable to its people, not to international organizations or foreign donors. Communities on the ground should determine reconstruction priorities. Number three, we need to support Jamaican-led initiatives. Projects like Rejuvenate for Jamaica Hospital Project and other diaspora-driven efforts that don't wait for Britain or any other former colonial power to decide Jamaica is worthy of investment. And finally, we need to keep talking about reparations, not as some abstract historical concept, but as a concrete policy demand. Britain owes Jamaica, not aid, not charity, but date. Historical material, measurable date. Hurricane Melissa destroyed homes and infrastructure, but the hurricane of colonialism never stopped. It just changed forms from direct route to economic exploitation, from slavery to structural adjustments programs, from empire to Commonwealth partnership. All right? £2.5 million does not even begin to address the reality. And until Britain acknowledges the true scale of what it is owed, these gestures will always be what they are. Crumbs from a table built with Jamaican hands on land stolen from Jamaican people with wealth extracted from Jamaican labor. That's my take. Guys, leave a comment down below, especially if you're a Jamaican or Caribbean diaspora. How do you feel about this aid package? What do you think real accountability will look like? If this video made you think differently, hit the subscribe button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and remember, the Bantu merchant does not do surface level text. We go deep, we bring receipts, and we never forget what or who built what. Until next time, I want you to stay informed, stay connected, and never let them rewrite the history we lived. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.